welcome to another edition of Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Coach, back with another win from the road trip to Clark, Atlanta, the whole 9 yards. And, man, it was a big, decisive win for BC Tigers.
Yeah, it was. You know, the guys played well, so I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. And of course, what we have to do in order to bring you this show, we got to say a big old thank you to the sponsors for doing this, because we couldn't do this show without you. So big shouts and big ups to Founders Federal Credit Union. Thank you so much for that, for all you do. We appreciate you. Prisma Health, South Carolina Education Lottery, Lexington Medical Center, South Carolina Election Commission, and also Richland County. We thank you so much. And once again, we take it to the road. We go up there. We get the big win, 59-24 the score. 31 unanswered points in to close out the game. 3 defensive touchdowns, 1 special teams touchdown. I mean, it's impressive all the way around for the Tigers.
Yeah, you know, we talk about, you know, playing all 3 phases of the game. And the first and most important one is special teams. And then, you know, defense wins championships. And, you know, offense, they're the ones that's got to put the points on. And so, you know, when you have an opportunity for all 3 of those to score, it helps and it feels really good. And so, you know, that's what we were able to do.
All right, so we're going to get the highlights of this game and break it all the way down for you so that folks who didn't get the opportunity to go, you can check it out. And if you were there, we're going to get you some great replays and also the behind the scenes from the coach here, who's going to also chime in and let you know what's happening. So, of course, we're going to do this thing. You got your All-American returner, Jackson Williams, to receive. Benedict College defers to the second half, and off we go.
Yeah, you know, the week before we played Tuskegee, Jackson gets tackled at the 4-yard line. So I looked at him and I said, really? And he goes, Coach, I'm sorry. And he says, next time I have an opportunity, I'm going to do it. And so, you know, again, you go out there, you have to get ready to make the play call, but you're hoping that, you know, if Jackson touches the ball, you know, anything could happen. And the next thing you know, you see him go past the 20, past the 30, past the 40, past the other 40, and you're like, okay, maybe I don't have to call a play. And then he just accelerates, and the next thing you know, 10 seconds later, he's in the end zone. And so, you know, I'll take that any chance we get. You know, but that's Jackson, and again, 10 other guys working really hard and believing in each other. And so, you know, we open up the game with a kickoff return for a touchdown.
92 yards for this guy. I mean, he is a burner. He's a runner, this guy. What's this song? He's a runner.
He's a track star.
Yeah, that's it. Coach is with me. Not if you're not with me, Dennis. You know, and the defense steps up and does their thing. I mean, Clark, Atlanta gets the ball, 3 and out, back to BC.
Yeah, you know, and so it gives Darius Oceans an opportunity to run the offense. And, you know, we come in with a play. We look that they give us the right coverage. I look at Darius. He makes the audible, and 43 yards later, you know, he completes a pass on the very first play to Malachi Jones. And, you know, that's the blessing about this offense and the way that him and the rest of the quarterbacks can run this offense. And then, you know, we get down into the red zone, and so we bring in what we call our Wildcat package, and that's Bryce Conover, and we run the ball a couple times with him at the quarterback and also at the running backs. And, again, we give our quarterbacks the freedom to check any time that they want to. He looks out, we call a run play. He sees that they've singled up Malachi Jones and gives the audible and makes a great pass, and we get a great catch, you know, in there. And so Darius starts us off, and then we have the Wildcat quarterback throwing for the offensive first touchdown in there to Malachi Jones. And so, again, that's just the phases of what we work on every week, you know, coming together. And I was really excited about it.
Absolutely. Benedict is up already, 14-zip, and of course you got to give big credit to Zane as well. This guy and his PATs seems to be always spot on.
Yeah, we love Zane. You know, anytime you can score, it's a plus. You know, especially when you get into those tight games. But being a freshman and just, you know, knowing he has this whole team and the university behind him, he goes in there and does a great job. So I'm very proud of Zane.
All right, then, of course, defense, Tigers are back out there again. Seems as though the Panthers get the ball rolling. They get a pass for 18 yards. They get another one for 25 yards. End up on Benedict College's 19-yard. And your defense has to stand up to them.
Yeah, you know, and again, we have one of those defenses. Everybody expects them to go shut out. But college football, you have good teams. And so, you know, our defense gave up a couple passes. We had to make a couple adjustments. You know, we had a couple of knuckleheads that had to get out of position, and so we played some new guys in that situation, and it kind of hurt us early, but we made our adjustment. But when it came down to it, they kind of, as they always do, they bend and they didn't break. So I'll take that.
Matter of fact, they come away with just 3 points because your defense was able to hold them up, and that's all they could get.
Again, I'll take that. When you count the points, 3 is good, 1 is good, 7 is good. But if you can score 7 and they can score 3, you'll always be ahead. And, that was a good thing that our defense talks about all the time.
Clark Atlanta, they go ahead and kick the ball, but of course they kick it away from Jackson Williams. They don't want him to touch this ball. You guys end up on your 27-yard line, and you try to move this ball down the field.
Yeah, we kind of knew that a lot of teams, if they kick to Jackson, they'll try it once or twice. If he has a big return, then everybody else has to be prepared, and that's kind of what happened. And so we weren't really worried about it. We just had to go and do ourselves. And we get a pass interference because, again, we see another coverage that we have an opportunity for, so we get the pass interference, which gives us a first down. And then we decide to run the ball a little bit, but as we do that, we noticed that, again, they're playing a certain kind of coverage. And, I looked over there and I said, hey, I got Jackson on the field. I gave the play into Darius. He read the coverage right, and, 42 yards later, Jackson's running in the end zone. So I guess if he doesn't get it on the kickoff, we'll try to get it to him on offense. But, again, it's just being blessed that, you have guys that can wear different hats. And it's fun to be able to be in that situation with these young men. And so, hey, we'll find a way to get you the ball, and when you get the opportunity, you got to make something of it.
And that's what Jackson does. I mean, it keeps the defense guessing because they don't know where he's going to be, what he's going to do next. And in this case, 21-3, BC is up once again.
Yeah, again, it's a blessing to have all that talent, and he's just one of those guys in that room, that it's a very talented room, and it's still a very young room, and so it's an honor to, be able to watch him do what he does well, and again, I'm going to brag on Jackson. He's a 4.0 student in the classroom also. So, I mean, he does it on the field for everybody, but he also does it in the classroom.
Weird. Clark Atlanta ends up having to punt again to Benedict because your defense is stout and they're doing their job to maintain and, of course, hold Clark Atlanta from getting into that end zone. So 21-3, BC gets the ball back once again as we get into the second quarter.
Yeah, defense is doing a good job. We know at any moment Clark can, rally off some points and some yards, and because that's who they are. And so, we want to get into it and really want to control the clock. And so that's what I did at this point in time. I knew that we had kind of been able to score on some big plays, and I wanted to run the ball and slow some things down a little bit. And so we run a little bit, but then we kind of get behind the chains, and so I have to make a throw. Well, I don't personally. I'm not playing anymore. But I called a pass, and, Oceans makes a great pass across to, as we call him, Bama, but Shatarius Williams. And then we get into a situation where I have Tristan Morgan in the game, but I think we can beat him with speed, so I put David in the game, David Smith, and we miss a block. It's a fourth down. We come around, we come up short. We miss a block. One of our freshman receivers missed a block. Played well, but it was just one of those things. I needed that block to get the first down, so we come up a yard short. It was actually an inch short. And I was, wrestling with the official about it, make sure he needed my glasses or not. But, it was the right call. And, I think both ways, that's football. Football is a game of inches. And on that play, they won the inch battle.
Tristan, like you just mentioned him, he had some good runs there as well, though.
Yeah, he did, and Tristan's our starter. And so, we have it to where, as I mentioned earlier in the season, we play by committee. We know it's a long game, it's a long season. And so, if you're hot, you're going to play. And then, like I said, at that point in time, because of Tristan had been running the ball, I wanted David with a little more speed to try to get to the outside. And it just, it so happened that way that we came up in short.
All right, so there's a 15-yard pass, then there's also a 12-yard pass that takes place as well. Gets that ball to midfield, and Josh Madupe, he comes up really big in that blitz too.
Yeah, we haven't pulled out our secret weapon yet, and so, we're kind of saving it. And we got a young linebacker core, and Josh Madupe happened to be one of the guys, and he had an opportunity, and that's what we talk about. If you got an opportunity, make the best of your opportunity. He comes through, forces a fumble, and then our other really talented and great preseason All-American defensive lineman does what we do every day. He scoops it, and he looks, because I joke with him, I could see it. He looked and said, boy, that's a long way. But he ran and ran and ran, and that's stuff we work on in practice. You understand what I'm saying? And so I was really pleased, and I told him in front of the team, again, this is a young man that graduated in Israel Nwokocho. He graduated and decided to come back to Benedict and get his master's and play football. And so, that's a lifetime dream for a defensive lineman to get an interception, to scoop and score. But to scoop and score and have a long one, I mean, that just shows that he's really bought in. He's really working hard, and we've talked about that. And also the guys on the defense. It took 11 guys to cause that one play, and I appreciate everybody for doing that.
So it's 28-3 right now, still inside the second quarter. I want you to take a look at this. Benedict College kicks off. The Panthers fumble, and Caleb Riggs recovers this one. The Tigers don't take advantage of this fumble, and they punt the ball back to the Panthers on this thing.
Yeah, we were riding the momentum, having an opportunity to put, some more points on the board. We kind of stall out again on offense, making calls to try to run the ball, eat the clock, but we have to punt. And at that point in time, I think, and it was probably one of the greatest things that happened at this point in time, we thought the game was out of control, and we thought we had taken control of it. And, you've got to play 4 quarters, and that's what I reminded them. And they come back and they get some big plays, and they go down and they score, and then they come back and we stall out kind of again, and they get an opportunity and hit us with a big 70-yard pass, and so now they're making it a game. And, I looked over at the guys and I said, guys, remember, I told you this was going to happen the night before on our Friday night meeting. I said, they're a great team. They can score at will. And we know we have a good defense, but things like this happen. And so we cannot relax. And, the team looked at me and said, Coach, we got you. And so, after the long 70-yard touchdown, like I said, I looked at them and they said, Coach, we got you. And, that's that's a whole nother story after that one.
All right, so 28-17. Let's pick up the action here where Clark Atlanta picks up a 16-yard pass. This is on 3rd and 10. And a couple of plays later, as we fast forward, the Panthers score on a 29-yard touchdown. And all of a sudden, Panthers are back inside this game. It is now 28-24 with just under 2 minutes before we hit halftime, Coach.
Yeah, and we were rotating some guys in the secondary. We've blown a couple busted coverages. And like I said before, I talked to the offense. We needed to pick it up. Went down there and again, told the defense that, we're better than that. But, we just had some guys out of position and had a couple guys in their feelings, because they had gotten in situations earlier and we got to play 4 quarters. And so, at this point in time, again, they chip away at it and they're, we're giving them life now. And so before we didn't give them life, we didn't completely shut the door on them. We left the door open so that they could see the light. And, that puts us in that situation. But, the magic machine, as the team calls it, gets the opportunity to go back out there because we have so many weapons. And so, one thing that we really work on is our 2-minute offense. And so, we're getting ready to go into our 2-minute offense, happen to see the coverage that we wanted. And, Darius looks, makes the check, receiver sees it, understands the coverage. Trey Simmons, who was the quarterback from last year, runs down the middle of the field and catches a pass from Darius. And so I guess going from our 2-minute offense, we go to a really quick offense. And
2-second offense.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. We'll call it that.
Okay. And so, we're able to score, which was good because, we were going into halftime. They had the momentum, and then they were going to get the ball back, coming out of halftime. So we had to be able to do something. And so being able that we were able to connect, go down there and score kind of helped us shut the door a little more, but it wasn't completely closed. I mean, we still had a whole nother half that we had to play. And but it was great to get the momentum back of us going into the locker room, after that. And so that really helped us.
Coach, sometimes it's a bad thing when you give the other team a little life, But here it is. Your team was like, we're not having that. Obviously, I guess you probably said some words to your team on the sideline. 35-24, about to take it into the half because you guys are now still up. And, what's your thoughts so far?
Well, it showed that when we play together as a team, we're really good, we still got a lot that we have to grow and we still have to work on. But if we put the offense, the defense, and the key is the special teams together, we can be in a game with anybody in the country. And so, but if we take some lazy steps, we'll let anybody in the country be in the game with us. And, as we talk about, it's how we play, not who we play. If we don't continue to close that door, then it is who we play, because we're giving them life. And so, I went and I just told the coaches that we needed to clean some stuff up, offense, defense, special teams, because we're playing a team that's at home and they're playing really good. And if we keep giving them life, and I mean, again, it's Clark Atlanta's a really good team. I mean, they've put up a lot of points in the last 2 years and even this season. And we just had to play Benedict football. And, that's what I told the coaches, and that's when I went in there and I said, it's how we play, not who we play. And you got to remember, we're the Benedict Tigers, and they were ready to come out that second half.
Absolutely. And speaking about the second half, we're going to give you the second half highlights coming up in just a little bit. But also too, we have the Lexington Medical Center player spotlight. It's going to be Jackson Williams. We're going to talk to that guy, the wide receiver, as well as the return specialist. And I don't know, I think wherever you put this guy at, he's going to shine. He's one of those type players. So we'll get to that and more inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. Brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union, Prisma Health, South Carolina Education Lottery, Lexington Medical Center, South Carolina Election Commission, and also Richland County.
At Lexington Medical Center, we want you to lead a long and healthy life, and we're here to help you do just that. Our experienced team of healthcare professionals wants nothing more than to help make you well again. Take good care of yourself, and remember, we're here for you whenever you need us. If you don't already have a doctor or you're looking for a new one, choose from more than 70 physician practices at Lexington Medical Center. We wish you a lifetime of good health and happiness. Be well.
Life moves fast, and while you're raising future MVPs, it's good to know you've got a teammate with Founders, a partner you can trust to always have your back, with products and services that give you the freedom to focus on the more important things. While you're sharing those moments, remember, we're here for one single reason, to help grow your financial success. So when the game is done, you can relax, because at Founders, our most valuable player is you.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with Ron Dickerson Jr. Right now it's the Lexington Medical Center player spotlight. Jackson Williams, sophomore. What up, Money?
What's up?
How you living?
Good.
You know why I call you Money?
Why?
Because you're going to be making a lot down the road. And you're going to remember me. I need to pay him off. He called me Money. He called it. All-American receiver, man. You running this thing back the whole 9 yards. You doing your thing out there.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Let's set the scene. You back there, you waiting for the kick. Tell me what goes through your mind, how you feeling at that moment.
In that moment, I just say a little prayer to myself, and just know I'm finna believe in my teammates, and just knowing I'm finna get a kick return.
Right. So, the coach said this. He says, like, last time you had a return, but it wasn't much at all. And you looked at him and said, don't worry about it, Coach. Next time I get the opportunity, I see it, I'm going for it. 92 yards on this next one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. After the kick return, I got tackled on the 3. I told my coach that will not happen again. I told every coach that won't happen again. Yeah. And then they believed in me. They also told me, yeah, it won't happen again. And the next kick return, scored.
Absolutely. And that's what you do. Is it because you don't want to get hit, so you making sure you stay away from these guys, or it's just because you're just that good?
No, it's not that. It's my teammates actually do most of the work for me with the blocks, and then following my blockers, and then
get them eyes. You gotta have them eyes. Yeah. That's the most important thing. When you following your blockers and you see them block one way, you gotta be able to cut and do the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good thing. How long you been playing football now?
I've been playing football for a minute since I was 12.
Always like receiver and stuff like that?
No, in high school I played quarterback.
Really?
Yes.
Got an arm?
Yes. I think receiver work better.
That's what you want to do?
Yes.
So, speaking about what you want to do down the road, what's your goal?
My goal is to.
He told me off camera he wants to play for the Cowboys. But go ahead. What you gonna say?
My top goal definitely is to make it to the league.
Okay.
And then if not that, I want to be a coach.
Okay, nice. Now you could be a coach. This guy's got a 4.0. You didn't think I knew that, right? 4.0. See, so that means you get down in those books, and you also get down with the practice and training.
Oh yes, definitely.
You know, what inspires you? What motivates you?
Motivate me, my brother and my dad.
Did they play sports too?
My brother is a coach at Colorado State right now.
Nice. So, all right. So listen. So what are the things that you do prior to the game, before the game? You know, things that you think about, things that you to get you set, the mind right, as people say, or in the zone. I know the prayer. That's
Yeah.
before you really catch that ball.
Yeah, I definitely pray before the game, talk to my family, and then listen to music.
From Alabama?
Yes.
Yeah. Family still all there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Roll Tide or
No,
Carolina? Auburn.
Yeah, my dad went to Auburn.
I was just messing. Auburn. That's all right. They got that little bird that fly around that stadium. Right? Something like that. Anyway, my man. So your future, basically either the coach or to play in the league. And do you have a specific team? I know I mentioned one, but like, who do you like right now?
I don't really have a specific team.
No, you just want to play.
Yes.
As long as you get to play.
Definitely.
I like that. Did you see that movie, Him? What was that movie, Him? Who's that guy? What's his name? The Wayans brothers in this movie. If you haven't seen it, yeah, don't go see it. It's not that great.
I don't think I've seen
Sorry, Wayans brothers. Not like you're going to watch this. Jackson, what's your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
Favorite food, chicken tenders and fries.
That's it. How you stay so slim? All this running he's got to do. That's what works right there. My man, well, I appreciate it. We're looking forward to you seeing you play against Allen University. And I know, you don't want to do the predictions of how many run backs you're going to have the whole 9 yards, but I know you're just going to do your best every single time.
Yes, definitely.
That's what it is. What's your major?
Sports management.
Sports management, all the way around. My man, appreciate you. Anything you want to tell these folks who are listening, your family, all the way in Alabama?
No, I don't have much to say. Just
What are you talking
Thank
about?
y'all for watching.
I miss my mom. Appreciate it. Inside Benedict College Football. Jackson Williams, come watch him against Allen University, 2 o'clock on Saturday. Back with more right after this.
Life, like water, is something you move through. You need a team helping propel you forward. The experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide specialized treatment for the athlete and all of us. Backed by the #1 rated hospital in the Midlands. Life's a sport. Keep playing.
Your trip begins now. Your trip is your story, and all the best stories begin right here at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Whether you travel for business or pleasure, we designed CAE to maximize your comfort. Maybe your trip is one of discovery, reunion, or time to close the deal. Wherever your trip ends, it all begins right here, the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. Fly with ease.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. We have that second half highlights coming your way. Plus, of course, we have a look at the game ahead that's coming up, too. It's going to be our neighbors, Allen University. We're going to break that down for you, too. But let me tell you, we got some sponsors here we want to give big shouts to, because without them, we could not bring you this show. So come on and put those big old screens up there, and let's see. Founders Federal Credit Union, thank you so much. We appreciate you, of course, for being one of those main sponsors of Benedict College Football, and you've been here with us from the start, as well as Prisma Health, South Carolina Education Lottery, Lexington Medical Center, South Carolina Election Commission, and also Richland County. Thank you all so much. We appreciate that. All right, here we go. Clock deferred to the second half so they get the ball. And they're doing some things. They're moving that ball and getting down to the Benedict 35-yard line. Coach, what you doing?
Well, again, I just look at Coach Campbell and them and say, hey, we got to hold them out. And, we take them all the way to 4th down. And, they go for it, make a pass. And it's fingertips incomplete, but it's incomplete, so it gives us the opportunity to be successful and get the offense back out there. And that's the thing, is that we got to be able to come out of the locker room at halftime and stop somebody and then be able to go down and score. And so that's one of the things, again, I talked about in the locker room to the team.
All right. 35-24, but I don't think that's going to last too long, because your offense seemed to be doing some lightning strikes right about now.
Yeah, going into the half, we had, I guess you called it, that 2-second score and a 2-minute offense. And then, we got a penalty coming out of when we had it, and I'm going to take responsibility. That penalty was on me. I came in and gave him a play, and then we went to audible, and I guess we didn't look as a coaching staff at the clock, so we got backed up. We had a delayed game, and so which now it's for first down and long, and I think they assumed that we were going to either run a screen or pass the ball, but we kept the same play that we were on, and gave Tristan Morgan the opportunity. The offensive line did a great job, opened it up. The receivers did a great job blocking down the field, and Tristan Morgan was off to the races. And I think that was, since my career here at Benedict, was the longest run from scrimmage for a running back. And so I was really pleased with him. But again, there was 11 guys on that play doing their job and doing a great job. And so it was a one-play touchdown that really helped us. We needed that coming out of halftime.
75-yard run for this guy. That's pretty good too as well. 42-24 now is the score, and of course Spires with the PAT brings it in. Panthers are now facing the 3rd and 11. They have this ball, but your defense, they're stout.
So now I think this is when the secret weapon comes out. And it was a blessing to get Ty back. And, Ty had a lot of energy. It was opportunity for him to show who he was. And so Ty has an opportunity to rush the guy. And I think, is this the one where he causes the forced fumble? Ty had a great game.
7-yard sack.
Yeah, he comes through, runs right past the offensive tackle, and just ran through the quarterback. And you want to talk about a momentum swing, and the sidelines was excited and everything, and he was excited, and so it was good to have Ty back.
You think about this guy. He had a dynamic performance. He had 8 tackles, 3 sacks, and also 2 forced fumbles as well.
I'm happy he's on my team. I'm happy he's on my team. I'm happy he goes to Benedict. I'm happy he loves being at Benedict. And, he's a team guy, and that's what's really appreciative, because, again, what some of the things that, the injuries and some of the other stuff that he had to go through, for him to be humble and to trust the process, it's paying off, and I'm excited for him.
All right, so Benedict is on the 38-yard line after that fumble. Now we're trying to get into that end zone, but you got that kicker you depend on. Yeah,
we kind of stalled out again, trying to do some things, run the ball, get the clock down and everything else. But, feel good, get in Zane's range, and that's a big one. And just give him an opportunity. Again, when we talked about points, anytime you can score points, that's a plus. And so it's good to have confidence. Hey, going in there, field goal, and go in there and shoot, we make it. And it gives us 3 points, which is really a good feeling, because, like I said, we're trying to get the momentum. And what a lot of people don't realize, that I didn't, talk about this, is the first half was 2 hours, and the first half of that game and all that heat was 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. Okay,
15-minute quarters we're talking
yes,
about.
It was a 2.5 hour game.
Wow.
And so, I just, again, told the team, guys, we got to put pressure on them. We got to get in and out of here, because as long as the game goes in the heat and you wear down, you start having injuries, and we got a long season ahead of us, and into that. And so I think, in kind of saying that too, again, will lead up to we on offense don't touch the ball much in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Our defense just takes over the game, and special teams takes over the game. And again, defense is playing lights out. Ty, comes off the edge, has an opportunity. This time he gets a sack with a fumble. We recover it. We kind of stall out on defense. on offense again. And I'm trying to get the game out, so I'm running the clock. I'm not trying to throw it. Next thing you know, we give the ball back to them, and more pressure comes. And I think this is when TT, as we call him, but the freshman from Atlanta, Langston Hughes, Terrence Brown, has a pick 6, which is a great opportunity, because, again, that shows you 11 guys doing their job. And so the defense is now, stepped up to the challenge, and they're playing lights out at this point in time.
Yeah, you go from 45-24 to now 52-24 in just a matter of moments, because your defense, again, is standing up big time against Clark Atlanta.
Oh, we offensive guys are looking over there saying, who's going to be the next one to go in? Who's going to be the next one to go in? And, you literally go kickoff, defense, touchdown. Kickoff, and then here it comes again. Boom, we cause another forced fumble. And Isaiah Stevens, one of our top linebackers, scores. And I think, again, he's rambling down for 40-some plus yards for it, and you don't want to run the score up on somebody, but when you have these opportunities, what can you do, And, I mean, that's just our guys. I challenged them. I said, we got to play 4 quarters. Defense, you took the second quarter off, and we can't do that. And they said, Coach, we got you. And, we got to represent who we are. And, I mean, as you see that, again, I don't think, except for at the very end of the game, the offense touched the ball in the fourth quarter, and that was to run the clock out, into that. But the defense, they just turned it up and played lights out. And, I mean, in that we had fumbles after sack, after fumble, after interception, after fumble for a recovery for a touchdown. And again, if we can play that for 4 quarters, we're gonna have fun.
And that's what you did. Clark Atlanta gets the ball back, and they're moving it pretty good. But then Ty Patterson steps up as well.
Ty steps up. Ty was stepping through people.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And what is this, Ty's next fumble? Is this the next fumble that Ty has? He hits the quarterback, and I'm really worried because I thought he was going to put their quarterback out. I mean, it was like their offensive lineman wasn't there on that play. But, thankfully the young man was able to get up and finish the game. But, again, it was just a blessing to have Ty. And Ty brings the energy for, the whole team, and they love him, and Ty loves the team, and, Ty put us in a great situation.
Where Isaiah Stevens is able to scoop this ball up and run it inside the end zone. 59-24 now is the score.
It's funny when you see your kids playing and having fun. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Monday is academic Monday, but yesterday we were out there and we were making our corrections on Sundays. And so, today it's academic. Tomorrow we get out there on Tuesday and it's the grind. Wednesday it's the grind. And I tell them, if you can work hard during the week, Saturday should be fun. And that's what they're doing. They're growing as a team. As you see where we are and where we're coming, we're growing as a team, offense, defense, and again, the most important unit, special teams, we're growing. And we're becoming a 11-man unit that becomes a 1-man unit, meaning that everybody's moving and doing things all together, and when you can cause a fumble and somebody that you've been sweating with and lifting with and eating with and going to Walmart with, and he can recover that and pick it up and score, that's also you, because you were part of that.
Absolutely.
And you should see him. It wasn't a me, it was a we, and they all were celebrating and having a good time. And I just love that because, we're really starting to bond as a team because, we're going to have some hills to climb. We got a rough schedule to go on. And, but at that day, we had to worry about Clark Atlanta.
And you did. Matter of fact, Clark Atlanta, they turned the ball over with an incomplete pass, I believe it was. That was on 4th down.
Yeah.
And that pretty much wraps the game up at that point. 59-24. Benedict College comes away with another win, so they're now 4-0. Now they're getting ready for the next game, which is Allen. But let's give the final thoughts on this game right here and the way your team played.
I said I challenged them.
I know you talked about Walmart, you talked about eating the whole 9 yards, but on that field with those guys.
I challenged them at halftime. We kind of all just let the second quarter go by, and we can't do that to be a good football team. And again, we have a long way to go. But I see these young men growing, and so when I challenged them, I can now go back and say, guys, see, if we do this for 4 quarters, where can we go? And the good thing about it is we're not looking into the longevity future. We're just looking into the next game that we have to play. And so, as the next team comes around, we can't do some of these things, because now it could go the other way. We could be the opposite team and stuff like that. And so, but the way they played together, I mean, their defense, they bended, but they didn't break. And when I needed them to turn up, they did it. And, our special teams, man, they're playing lights out. And I'm really appreciative of all the young men because, being special teams guy, you may not play offense or defense. You may be a second teamer, but you get to start on that. And that's a big play. Boom, one play, you go 92 yards for a touchdown. Boom, one play, you get a fumble recovery. Boom, one play, you get an extra point. So it's the the camaraderie that's coming, that, you know, I see it, and I was really excited to watch us bounce back after the second quarter, come out after the third quarter, and finish the game really strong. And so, you know, I was pleased with that as an overall unit.
Outstanding. An outstanding play for the team as well. So here we go. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll have the assistant coach spotlight. DeAndre Harris, receivers coach, will talk to us and break it down as well for that. Inside Benedict College Football, it is head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. And don't forget, we also have to break down Allen University. We'll tell you how to grab some of those tickets and be a part of it too. It's a home game as well. We'll do that next, right here on Benedict College Football.
Every lottery ticket purchase keeps education in our state moving forward. Like in 2005, when lottery proceeds helped purchase new school buses that kept South Carolina students on the road to success. Because arriving safely to school every day is the first important step on their journeys to the careers and lives they've always dreamed of. When you play the lottery, you're helping fund the futures of students all over our state, which is why education is our middle name.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. And right now we got the coach's spotlight, assistant coach spotlight, DeAndre Harris. What up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. How about you? Receivers coach, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
How
sir.
tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". You're pretty short for that, ain't you?
Little bit.
You used to play at Morgan State.
Yes, sir.
You a QB?
Yes, sir.
Man, dude, you got that bullet arm?
Not
Doing
no
those
more.
spirals right on there?
Not as much as I used to.
How was it playing back then for you?
Oh, it was a good experience for me. You know, I come from, you know, a small town football town. So it's
What town was that?
Washington, Georgia.
Oh,
It's,
okay, gotcha.
in between Augusta and Athens, about 45 minutes each way. So.
Right, of course.
Yes,
You were yelling Bulldogs a lot.
Nah, no, not I.
What made you start playing football back then?
It was just you know, it was just a way to get away from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, football was always just something to do that just kept you away from all the outside noise. So
Right.
and then, you know, it helped me, and it groomed me into who I am today. So.
And you know, playing that position of quarterback, you have, I guess, the insight of what these receivers need to know and what they need to do, which is now making you that great coach. So tell me about that transition.
So you know, it wasn't a hard transition. Like I said, I've known Coach D. He was at Morgan State when I was there, so I kind of already
played
knew.
for him?
Yes, sir.
Was he mean?
Nah, he was cool. He was, but it was always a good, you know, he always had good energy. I knew he wanted from his receivers when he hired me. And you know, I kind of coach it from what a quarterback's perspective. Like, you know,
Okay.
everything happens for like I'd be like, hey, you know, if you run your route like this, the quarterback sees this, but you might see that, but the quarterback sees this, and then they'd be like, oh, okay, and then, you know, we kind of adjust like that. It's kind of easy, you know. They all my guys they respond to coaching well. They
good.
take coaching well, and you know they try to do what you ask them to do to the best of their ability.
Jackson Williams, we just talked to him. He said that he makes you look good.
He does. All of them make me look good. I told him that, you know, they all of them make me look good. So I'm proud of those guys, and you know I hope they keep it going.
What's the most important thing you think for a receiver? Is it speed or hands?
Man. Well, I mean, if you can't catch, there's no need for you to have speed. So I guess the hands are more important.
Tell me about this game coming up against Allen University. You kind of, you know, done your scouting report for those guys and what you see with Benedict College. How's it looking?
I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be. You know, it's like I said, it's a rivalry game for us. You know, we're gonna approach it like it's just a football game for us. But again, like I said, it's a rivalry game. You know, tempers are gonna flare. It's like, you know, Georgia Tech. You know, those games be close, and you never know what you're gonna get out of it. So we're just gonna, you know, try to play football and do what we can to the best of our ability.
Follow the game plan. Everybody do their job.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. Coach, appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
I want to say thank you to Coach DeAndre Harris. Appreciate you and what you do with those receivers. And again, we'll be right back to wrap this thing up. And again, talking about Allen University right here with Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr.
Some days your strength and resolve are tested. You need a team behind you to keep you going. The experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide specialized treatment for the athlete in all of us. backed by the #1 rated hospital in the Midlands. Life's a sport. Keep playing.
Welcome back to Inside Benedict College Football with head coach Ron Dickerson Jr. And here we go. We get ready for Allen University. Right next door to, I mean, they could walk over here and play. I don't think, are they going to take a bus or are they just going to walk? It's just right across. Anyway, listen, it's going to be at Charlie W. Johnson Stadium. 2 p.m. kick for this one. Make sure you grab some tickets and be a part of this one because this, you know what? You know how important it is, and I know the players know how important it is to have fans in that stadium just yelling their heads off when they need them, especially when they're on defense. When you're on defense, you want to stop that offense. That crowd can make a difference.
No, it really can, and I challenge, us, we've gone to a couple away games and they've been, had a really good support. And I really don't look in the stands. This is what I hear. But, again, I know when we did play Tuskegee, there was a good amount of people in the stands. From what I had heard, I got to worry about.
You concentrate what's happening right
out there. But again, hey, it's a great opportunity for you and your family to come out and watch a great institution, and be a part of a great institution in the Benedict Tigers. And watch a great band, watch the cheerleaders, and watch some good football. I mean, these young men work really hard off the field and on the field, and it's good to hear people yell for them because, again, some of them don't have their parents that can make the trips and everything else. And so, for you to yell for them, it gives them that comfort. For you to, cheer for them, it gives them that comfort. So, I encourage everybody, I challenge if you're not doing anything, come on by at 2 o'clock and watch some good football. And it's going to be a good one because it's across town, really across the street rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, Allen's a good team.
You got family, friends, you just want something great to do. You can even tailgate as well, which is a lot of fun too before the game. This series started back around the 1940s, 1946-ish, somewhere around there.
Way before
was when
me.
this thing started.
Way before me.
It was one of the big events in Columbia for many, many years and so forth. And then the two teams paused it for a while. The program's in the 60s, and then the rivalry kicked back in again in 2021. And that's when Allen joined the SIAC. And so far, Benedict has won all 4 of those games in this competition. But Allen is no slouch.
Not at all. I mean, last year they took us to overtime, and we were just, before I came in here, we were watching last year's game, and this year, I mean, they're putting up miraculous numbers on offense. And so, it's going to be really challenging for our defense. They run that ball, and they run that ball. And I think, their running backs, I know he's probably leading the conference, if not leading HBCUs in rushing. I know at one point in time he was. And so, and he's a bruiser. I really like the way he plays. That offensive line does a great job. And then, standing next to him is the quarterback, and their quarterback's really, really good because, and I think he's probably, if not the best with yards right now in the conference. He's right up there. But that's because they're able to run the ball. And so while you're putting all these people in the box, he just takes advantage of you, and the old line gives him a good amount of time, and he got some good receivers. So I mean, we have our work cut out for us, and not only because it's the rivalry, but because it's they are a good team, and it's going to be exciting. But we got some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, Fabian Duncan, who's the running back you was talking about, he's averaging 133 yards. Right now, yeah. And the QB, Jamil Dismukes, also leads the conference in passing as well. So, like I said, no slouch. It's going to be a great game between these two, so you want to come on out and make sure you're a part of this one. No doubt about that. Get those tickets for this classic rivalry, Benedict College and Allen University over at Charlie W. Johnson Stadium.
Yes, sir. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock start.
2 o'clock.
Thank you, Coach. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for everything you do.
All right, Inside Benedict College Football, of course. I want to say thank you again to the sponsors, and we'll catch you next week to break down this game as well. Have a great one.